So we give to others in a way that is guided, and giving to others is about what's needed. To give what's needed. Not to give to show that we have more, not to give because we're trying to save somebody, but to give what we're guided to. And of course we've talked about that a number of times. To love all of God's creation, seeing them as one family, to bless and encourage all forms of life. To see divine love shining in and through us, giving radiance to the world. Equanimity. I'm calm. This is like one of the greatest gifts that we can give. Just being calm, being at peace. To forgive anger. Well, I mean, here, what I was thinking about it was that I am just really tired, and have been tired for a long time, of seeing life through the filter of the past. That always going back to that filter of the past. That what I want is I want calmness, I want peace. I want to let go of the past. I want to live in the present moment, because this is it. This is it. This is what we've got. I want to think about the idea, and I want to accept the idea of innocence. And innocence is a principle that I think is very misunderstood. That I remember I was seeing a movie last week, and some people got killed, and the one guy was remarking, well, now innocent people were killed, and the other person said, nobody's innocent. Well, when I say innocence, that's really a kind of a good way to justify things, right? They've done something. So, but anyway, when I'm talking about innocence, what I'm saying is the no knowledge of wrong. No knowledge. In other words, to wipe the mind clean of all of this burden of past sins and other people's transgressions. This is like the innocence of, a clean slate. To trust the ever-expanding possibilities of life. Anger fades as I see myself integrated into life. I am equal in creation. I have so much peace because I know I cannot be threatened. And this is a concept that it's very difficult on the face of it, because in the world there's all kinds of threats. But in spirit, I cannot be threatened. And this is what I have to keep reminding myself. Identify myself more with spirit than with the body, and realize that in spirit I cannot be threatened. Calm and serene. To view my day and my life with tranquility. I had a lot of challenges over the past week. An investment that I made looked like it was really going to go south on me. And I partnered with someone else, and they were like really upset. And I just talked to them, and I was just saying, yeah, but if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And what possible good could it do for us to be like all upset over the thing? And this is really my attitude towards all of the things that are happening in life. I try to remind myself, yes, I get upset. But then I try to remember, what's the use in this? How does this help the situation? Here's what I want to know. If something's going wrong, what do we do right now? I don't want to be thinking about what I should have done, and I shouldn't have done this, and maybe if we would have done this, and yes, there was the mistake, was right there. There's nothing wrong with seeing where the errors were made so that we can say, let's not do that again. But what I want to know is, from this point right now, what's to be done? And to be quiet enough, see, all full of anxiety and fear. You can't get quiet enough to hear the guidance. Because your own ego, who's thinking it's somehow going to lose something, is shouting so loudly that you can't hear the voice of spirit. So another mistake is made because you missed it. To treat everyone as equal. And this is something that I learned years ago. I went to a training session with Stephen Covey. It was like a 3-day session. And one of the things that he talked about was everybody in the organization being equal. And of course, I'm thinking about this on even a broader sense than that, and so was he. But what he was training business people, and so he's saying, you've got to treat everybody in your organization as equal, that everyone in your organization has equal value, regardless of how much you pay them, regardless of how much revenue you think that particular person may bring in. You have to treat everyone as equal, and that needs to be the culture in your organization, because you do not know where the help for the organization may come from. If you stratify your organization, in other words, he's saying, if you stratify it and everybody knows the pecking order and everybody is saying, you know, we've got to bow down to these and that these guys down here really aren't of much value, then what happens is people understand that in the organization. People know that they really are only worth as much to the organization as there's some monetary figure that somebody's got in a book somewhere or in the computer somewhere that says this is what that person is worth to the organization. And all the decisions are made based on that. All the decisions are made based on well, we need to let this guy go. And you know what? And it's not even about being first in the layoff list. It's how people are actually treated in the workplace. Some people in some organizations, they aren't even it's not that they're treated badly, they're just totally ignored. It's like they're invisible people in the organization until there need to be cutbacks. So Covey's idea was, he said, you treat everybody as equal. You treat everybody as of equal value, and you encourage people that they are a part of this organization, or what we would say, a part of the family. That they are a part of the family. And that not only that, but that you value not just their service, but their ideas. And you open it up, you make an open environment, and you're going to find out that there's people working for you that know stuff about your company that you do not know. You're going to find out that there's people in your organization that can actually help your company grow. They've got they see the process. So treat everybody the same, right? So this is a principle, see, a principle that is ignored many times. It's ignored because, well, here's one of the things that he said right off the bat was he told all of the owners, he said, don't let the accountants run your company, but don't ignore the accountants. But you got to have a balance. You can't run the company by formula and expect it to actually be a thriving, vital organization. Well, this is just a principle that can be applied in life. If you think of, see, how many people do we ignore? How many people in our lives do we get the idea after we know them for a little while that they really don't have much to offer? We're not interacting with them. I'm just saying, we might want to relax, start thinking about them as being equal to us, and listening when they speak, not just dismissing them. And because I know that there's this thing about when you go to a recovery meeting, what I try to do when I go to the meeting is when they ask for a moment of silence, I go into a prayer and I say, let me hear what I need to hear so I can share what needs to be shared. I'm surrendering my agenda, right? Well, when I do that, what ends up happening is the person that really I may have a lot of opinions about the way they live their life, and I may think all sorts of things about them when I'm, not spiritual. That's the person that's going to say something that I need to hear that day. I need to understand that that's what's going on all the time. Where do you think that saying came from? Out of the mouths of babes. We should be listening. We should be open to what everybody around us has to say and what they're offering. A lot of problems that we have with this idea of equality is thinking of ourselves as less than. So I think it's important to understand that we are capable, that we are capable to do what is called for. To say to ourselves, I am equal to the task at hand. And if I need help, I'm not afraid to ask for it. But I can get it done. That to realize that even though sometimes we may feel like something is keeping us in place, keeping us from accomplishing what we desire, that we are capable of overcoming whatever obstacle is in front of us if we just surrender to that presence of God that is within us. Because that is the power that when we come together with that, we can overcome anything. So to take responsibility for our life, to know that we can really soar to new heights just through that simple act of releasing past hurts and regrets, to let go of guilt and remorse, to forgive all resentments, to learn from the past but rise above it, to realize our oneness with the divine, to lighten up. To see our mind and heart cleansed as we move up and out. And then here comes the equation, that life in balance. Life in balance, body, mind, spirit, balanced in us. To be in harmony with others. To bring the body and mind into harmony, which in turn brings harmony into all relationships. To give ourselves to that presence of God, to establish goodwill in our actions, to perceive ourselves and others in the light, to open ourselves to life, to release in our minds, to release all disease of mind and body, to just let it go. Don't have to hold on to it. Yes, I was feeling sick a moment ago, but I'm letting it go right now. And somehow, I'm having more and more success with this practice of they keep telling me that as you get older, there's all kinds of aches and pains that come along with that. Stiffness and all this other kind of stuff. But this thing is working better and better in me, this practice of just releasing pain and it being gone. And again, I can't tell you exactly how it works. I can't tell you what the mechanism is. I can only tell you that my practice is getting better at it. And those times that I'm feeling the infirmities of age, I'm able to release them. So to open ourselves to life and to divine order, to feel that strength of God that is flowing through us, to be focused and centered in the moment, to have to establish that single vision, to be full, just to feel full of energy to complete all the things that need to be done this day. The equation is this harmony, the balance, that I want to allow my life to come into balance. You know what? Making a decision that I'm going to have a balanced life is not enough. You can't just say, I'm turning over a new leaf now, I'm balancing my life, I'm going to get everything in order. But relaxing, going with the flow, not fighting against life, we naturally come into balance, in harmony with God, and therefore in harmony with others. All aspects of our life, balanced, harmonious, equal. That's enough.